Thank you. Thank you very much. President Cullinan, members of the Board of Trustees, distinguished faculty, parents, families, and graduates, I want to express my gratitude for being invited here today for this honor and for this time with you. First of all, I want to say congratulations to the class of 2017. Today is a very special day for you. No more term papers or reading assignments or cramming for exams. Today, you can take a deep breath and simply enjoy the moment and savor this accomplishment. You earned it and you deserve it. To the parents and significant others and families and friends of those graduating, thank you for being here today too. But more importantly, thank you for being there all the many other days leading up to this day. Whether it was providing a needed word of encouragement or even reprimand, financial support, filling out that darn FAFSA, offering a shoulder to cry on, a couch to surf, a car to drive, or just a safe place to decompress. Thank you. This is your day too. I'm a member of the Nez Perce Tribe, and our reservation is in Idaho. But our people traditionally occupied lands that stretched all the way from western Montana to northeastern Oregon and southeastern Washington. My ancestors hunted buffalo on the plains, as well as fished for salmon on the Celilo Falls in the Columbia River. As a matter of fact, today, June 17th, the day of this graduation, is the 140th anniversary of the Battle of the White Bird Canyon, which began the Nez Perce War of 1877. When I was a child, there were still Nez Perce War survivors at that time. I was fortunate in my childhood to spend time in the care of my grandparents, who lived a life centered around the four seasons, hunting, fishing, and gathering medicines and foods, in accordance with the teachings of their ancestors. My grandmother, who was born near the banks of the Clearwater River only a decade after the war, was later sent to the Carlisle Indian School in Pennsylvania to be civilized and taught to speak English, read and write English, learn math all over again, learn how to cook and clean for the homes of local school patrons. She stayed there until her teens. By the time she died in 1971, she had witnessed and experienced extraordinary changes in her life. She bore 9 children and buried 6 of them. She saw the influx of different in the dominant culture, the loss of her lands. She saw the arrival of trains, motorized cars, electricity, telephones, televisions, and the building of dams that silenced even the great Celilo Falls. She even lived to see men walking on the moon, and she was convinced a great celestial balance had forever been disturbed. What would she say about the things today? During the 12 years that I served on the Board of Trustees, I developed a deep and enduring affection for EWU. I saw this university grow and watched as ideas became programs. The dedicated leadership among the university's students and faculty and administration made ideas become real. Even when faced with adversity, Eastern found a way to thrive and to grow. The only thing that the Board of Trustees ever had to do completely on our own was hire a president. And I was fortunate to have worked with fellow trustees to complete 2 such searches, first in 2006 when we hired Dr. Rodolfo Arevalo, and again in 2014 when we selected Dr. Mary Cullinan, EWU's 26th president. Both of these individuals continue to break barriers and foster excellence in education. Eastern Washington University has always been an incubator for great opportunity and innovation. Eastern graduates represent the largest single group of college-educated citizens in the Spokane workforce, and the university attracts a growing number of students from across the state. EWU leads this state in its commitment to diversity and to first-generation college students, changing the lives not only of individual students, but entire families for generations to come. Way back in the early 70s, Eastern was among a handful of universities to recognize that its longtime sports mascot, might be offensive to some folks, including Native Americans. In July 1973, the students of Eastern voted to change the name of the school mascot to the name, from the name, which I cannot say, to the new name, the Eagles. As I stand here today, 44 years later, the significance of what your students did by changing the name still resonates with me. Looking back on that decision, I can say for sure that the students made a wise choice. The eagle is truly a spectacular creature. A bird of prey, the eagle is considered an apex predator residing high atop the food chain. Among the Nez Perce and among other tribes, the eagle is considered to be sacred. Flying higher than any other being on earth, it is believed to have the power to see what is coming, seeing beyond the hills and the clouds, and it carries our prayers and our songs to our Creator. Our nation adopted the bald eagle as our national emblem in 1782. And just a quick Google search will tell us eagles are powerful flyers, soaring great distances. Eagles have been known to hunt animals many times larger than themselves. Eagles are capable of swimming. Eagles are often solitary but congregate by scores and sometimes into the hundreds or thousands at communal roosts, feeding sites, and sometimes during football games. Eagles can sometimes even appear to be recklessly romantic. In one of several spectacular courtship displays, two mating eagles will fly high into the sky, lock talons, and cartwheel downward together, breaking off at the very last instant to avoid crashing to earth. It is my sincere hope and wish that some of the qualities of the eagle spirit will stay with each of you as you leave this campus and commence your career. I would, however, recommend courtship rituals involving music, flowers, and fine dining, and leave the free fall to the eagles with wings. Today begins or commences the next phase of your own unique and fantastic flight. I am sure you will want to celebrate, relax, and fully absorb the pleasure of this accomplishment. But please do not linger too long in that euphoric state. Take stock of your dreams and goals and begin to plan the next phase of your journey, whether your goal is to continue into graduate studies, to find employment in your chosen field, to explore a new area of interest, or to provide service to others. Please do so with the determination and focus of the eagle. Just like the changes my grandmother witnessed, we live in a fast-changing, exciting, and sometimes troubling time. Your voice, your leadership, your skills are needed very much today. Over the course of my career, I have come to know this one truth: one person can make a difference. Find a way to be a part of something greater than yourself, whether it is in your chosen field of study or service in your community or to others, or even just to brighten the life of a single child. You can and you will make a difference. Find your passion and stay true to it. If someone says, "You can't do that," do it anyway. Work hard and you will achieve your goals. My own passion has been in the field of public health. As a child living with my grandparents on the Nez Perce Reservation, I was struck by the disparities in health and resources that I saw. I thought Native people should live longer, better, healthier lives. I decided to devote my life to public health. So I was personally elated when Eastern launched its new College of Health Sciences and Public Health, offering Washington's only MPH east of the Cascades. To all our health science and public health graduates here today, I salute you and your passion for this critical endeavor. You are the healers and the caretakers. In his book, Mountains Beyond Mountains, biographer Tracy Kidder chronicled public health icon Dr. Paul Farmer's efforts to bring modern health care and medicines to suffering populations in developing countries, places like Haiti and Peru. Described as the man who would cure the world, Dr. Farmer said, and I quote, "For me, an area of moral clarity is if you're in front of someone who is suffering and you have the tools at your disposal to alleviate that suffering or even eradicate it, you act. unquote. Although we spend more than any other nation in the world on health care, our life expectancy still falls below the median of many other countries. As our nation grapples with the question of health care and public policy, I am excited to see and hear and watch each of you to see what you'll do to improve our health of our communities, our nation, and possibly even the world. Never give up. Always speak up. Keep fighting this fight. To the graduates of the College of Arts, Letters, and Education, you are the people who give meaning to life. Your work is sacred work. You find ways to give song, shape, color to the ineffable. Philosophers, musicians, artists, dramatic storytellers, writers, filmmakers, teachers, and educators, you are the people who will soften the hearts and expand the minds of the next generation. You are the truth tellers. You are the eagles who have faith in that human spark inside each and every human being, and your passion will fan the flames of curiosity and awareness and knowledge for generations to come. One such truth teller was a woman who grew up not far from here. Her name was Lucy Covington. She was a Colville tribal member. In the 1950s, a new federal policy called termination was sent out across the land. This termination meant exactly what it sounds like. It meant tribes and their reservations would cease to exist, and the solemn treaties negotiated many years before abandoned. When termination descended upon the Colville Reservation, Lucy Covington was managing at that time a cattle ranch. She put her ranch on hold to fight this ill-conceived idea. She sold her cattle to buy airplane tickets and traveled to Washington, D.C. many times to lobby against termination. She worked tirelessly over several years until she not only stopped termination of the Colville tribe, but stopped the policy nationally. She then returned to Washington, D.C. and lobbied Congress to restore the status of tribes that had already been terminated in Wisconsin, in Oregon, and many other states. Lucy Covington had the strength of her convictions and the power to persuade. She identified her goals and did not stop to rest until she reached them. Lucy Covington was a hero and a role model for me and for many emerging Native leaders of the time. We are her legacy to the world. I want to applaud Eastern Washington University for launching the Lucy Covington Center at EWU. This new center will engage all communities, Native and non-Native, in dialogue, debate, and discernment. Just as the great Spokane Falls, located only a few hundred feet from where we are here today, served as a historic traditional gathering place, the Lucy Covington Center at Eastern will serve as a confluence of cultures and ideas where students can gather and work together to make the university a more powerful force for positive change. As a Native American woman, I know that I am standing on the shoulders of my ancestors who fought, struggled, and sacrificed so that their descendants might love this land as they did. Their struggle and survival made my own journey possible. I am honored to stand upon the legacy of Lucy Covington. Each of you also stands on the shoulders of your ancestors. What is your story? Perhaps your ancestors immigrated from far-off lands, perhaps escaping persecution or poverty, traveling to America in hope of that their descendants might enjoy a better life. Maybe your family followed the agricultural crops, working long, hard hours in the sun, moving from harvest to harvest until settling here in this beautiful part of the country. Or perhaps your ancestors were indigenous to this place, like the Spokane people, and your feet walked the same ground that generations of your family walked since time immemorial. Whatever it is, embrace your story, know your story, share your story. It can be powerful medicine for the journey that we have together. To those graduates from the College of Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics, I present a special call to action for you today. You stand at the cutting edge of our common future. Your work will open doors to discoveries and new opportunities. You enter an ongoing and rapidly changing digital revolution unlike anything we have ever seen before, with faster and faster computers, robotic innovations, artificial intelligence, workforce replacement questions, climate change on the horizon, global economic implications. You have the tools to help define and uncover the solutions to many of the world's challenges. My prayer for you is that this beautiful blue and green orb that we all call home will be at the center of your work. In the words of Chief Joseph, "The earth is our mother." Resolve to leave a better future for your descendants. Native people have long believed that we must be concerned not just about our present, but about our place in relation to our ancestors before us and future generations to come. This country's founding fathers modeled key portions of the U.S. Constitution after the great law of the Iroquois Confederacy. One of the teachings of the Iroquois speak to the need to base all our decisions on the interests not just of the present, but for the next 7 generations. That's about 140 years. My hope is that, like the powerful eagle, you too will fly high enough and far enough to gain a clear view into the future, to see what is out there beyond our horizons, and that you will honor your place at the top of the food chain by showing respect and a sense of responsibility to all living things, and to ensure the sacred balance of this beautiful creation, our Mother Earth, for at least the next 7 generations. Graduates of 2017, you will be the thought leaders, the inventors, the builders, the policymakers, the truth tellers, the healers, the teachers, the peacemakers, and the caretakers who will be called to address concerns of our day. Wouldn't it be wonderful if you proved to be the leaders our elders have been praying for? The leaders who find the means to return balance to Mother Earth. Wouldn't it be wonderful if you, the most powerful apex predator of all, find the technology and the compassion and the political will for us all to live in harmony with each other and with nature, appreciating each and every creation, respecting the beauty of nature for what it is, a part of a vast interdependent web of existence balanced together, and we are all related. I believe there is a descriptive word for this rare but very much needed human being today, this unusual human apex predator who also loves his environment. I searched. I finally found that word. It comes from Latin, but was adapted by the French and used to describe human beings living in peace with their natural wilderness in harmony with nature. That French word is sauvage. You can make a difference, and the ripple created by your efforts can create changes that make the world a better place. It's happened before, and it will happen again. Thank you for letting me share this wonderful day with you. Congratulations, class of 2017.